Thank you.
So, quite the accolade. You are obviously best known for a book written a while back now, Globalization and Its Discontents. We're talking about this, though, The Road to Freedom, Economics and the Good Society. I will, of course, want to talk about some of your previous work as well. And in fact, I'd like to start with that. You were the outstanding voice with regards to critiquing globalization at its high point, late 1990s, early 2000s. Are we now living in a moment where you kind of reflect on that moment almost with affection? You know, things were working a little bit. There was global growth. There were rising living standards for the West. Do you sort of think maybe I was a bit too harsh on globalization?
No, I'm more. I don't like to say things like "I told you so," but I think what I said there was really a precursor to some of the political and economic problems we have today. Uh, I was I wrote the book after coming out of being chief economist of the World Bank, and I was looking at it through a particular lens of developing countries. And I was writing and saying, those global arrangements were unfair to developing countries, emerging markets. They were unfair to workers in America. They were agreements that were based basically on corporate interest and financial interest in the advanced countries, in particular in the United States. And I worried that a lot of the economic analysis on which it was predicated, globalization, made no sense. There were ideas like trickle-down economics, just make sure the pie is bigger and everybody's going to be better off. No theory behind that. In fact, economic theory said that opening up trade could actually lead to lower wages of workers in advanced countries. They were predicated on notions that free movement of speculative capital would stabilize the global economy. And it seems to me pretty evident, if you looked at history, that capital sloshes around in a very destabilizing way. And they were predicated on the idea that if you opened up free trade, yes, you would lose jobs, but new jobs would be created. It was a simplistic view about job creation, particularly in the context of developing countries. But we all now know, also in developed countries, that creating jobs is much more difficult. And too often what I saw was that you moved workers from low productivity, import competing sectors to zero productivity unemployment. And now it's not a way to create wealth and make people better off. So there's so many